do a post-mortem on this with our Ahmet Alioglu, who joins us now on set. Ahmet, where did things break down?
At the very beginning, Kilmeny, when the 31st of January in Sochi, all the parties agreed that they have this constitutional committee must be formed and a political solution will be offered on the table. But things were not kind of pragmatic on the ground. First, when they come to the choice of these members of the committee, they agreed on 3 different lists: the civil society, the regime and the opposition. 50 from each party of them. The regime said we need 2/3, like at least they want the 50 plus a half of the civil society, and they disagreed with the list that the UN and de Mistura, the outgoing de Mistura, nominated for the civil society. They said he must be a facilitator, not a decision maker. Most of them, according to the regime, were from the hawkish wings of the opposition. So from the very beginning, the choice of the committee was so difficult. The opposition, on the other hand, they were thinking like, we're not going to work on the constitution, a new one. The regime wants to work on the 2012 constitution, which means the security forces will be in the hand of the president. Another 2 terms for Bashar al-Assad, who is going to stay in power till 2035, which is something for the opposition doesn't make any sense, which is the crux of the whole revolution they started in 2011. That blew things up. In addition to the Putin kind of things, he wants a kind of a constitution tailor-made to his own liking. He wants to show that the diplomacy of Russia succeeded, unlike the occupation of Iraq 2003, the American version of Middle East policy. With all these factors, they didn't maintain to come to the ground with a kind of a solid, a practical kind of constitution committee that can work on it.
Well, exactly. And the opposition said, even going into these talks, that it was too soon to start thinking about a political solution in Syria.
Both the opposition and the regime are not in a kind of conciliatory tone or mood. First, the regime has the upper hand now. They completely weakened in the past 10 months a kind of the stalemate, because the opposition doesn't have any strong cards to offer on the table to develop or enhance its own negotiation terms. They're in the weak kind of corner. On the other hand, you have the regime who wants to practice empowered, emboldened by the military landslide kind of victory over the opposition. You have Turkey, on the other hand, reluctant to have the kind of YPG terrorist group that controls at least 30% of northern Syria, which means that the Turkish government is not willing to have them because they are offshoot to PKK terrorist organization. So you do not have a kind of monolithic kind of opposition against the regime. The opposition is weak. The regime doesn't need any kind of this kind of reconciliatory. So you don't find any room to this kind of political movement to succeed.
All right, Ahmet Alioglu, thanks for breaking that down for us.